Now, yesterday we just saw, of course, the market closing with, of course, the South African rand trading at 18 rands and 44 cents to the dollars. We are continuing to see, obviously, the rand weakening against the dollars. But what made matters worse, it was when we read that South Africa just got greylisted, right? And this, of course, was done by the Financial Action Task Force, which is the intergovernmental organization, which is something that obviously getting greylisted, ladies and gents, it means that especially for the international investors, before they can invest in South Africa, they need to do some serious due diligence because it is sort of like considered riskier or a bit of a risk investing into South Africa, which these ladies and gents made, or it is the one thing that made the rand to finish the day worse at 18 rands and 44 cents, which is, like I said, not good at all. You will remember, I think early last year there was a point in time where Zar was trading below 15 rands, which that to some other people it was an opportunity to start or to quickly throw your money into the US, which is one of the reasons why you will know that I like the US so much, because over and above the gains, the returns we see on stocks, we also see money, or I also see my money, which is in the US, growing when the ZAR, of course, weakens, or when the South African rand weakens against the dollar. So this to me, yeah, though it is not bad, or it might not be bad, especially to people or consumers who would like who buy things abroad, or even us when we buy things abroad, or the country when it buy things abroad, or maybe import things from abroad, they have to pay way more, which is something that is not good at all, right? So these, like I said, to some others maybe it might not be good, but to others it is not that bad. Or for a person like me who maybe over 90% of my stock market portfolio is in the US, this is not a deal breaker that much to me, because much of my money it's in the US, or much of the money I invest in the stock market, it's in the US. And when this happened, ladies and gents, my portfolio, I saw my portfolio just growing by this, which obviously it has to make me to be excited in a way, because my money, or my ZAR money, which I did transferred a lot of during the time when ZAR was trading around 15 rand, 14 rand, 16 rands, I'm seeing it now growing by just the fact that I've got assets, or I've got companies, or I've got money in my USD account. So I was in fact sort of like not sad yesterday when I saw this, because I knew that of course I do have, of course, money in the US. Now a lot of you might be asking about where, of course, the ZAR might be probably in the next coming months, coming quarters. Well, I don't know, but of course, due to so many things that are weighing a lot in our economy, like load shedding, things like, of course, these gray listing, which is as a result of maybe the corruption cases that were not properly dealt with, which were the ones, by the way, that put us to this gray listing list. So those kind of, or these kind of things that continue to weigh to our economy, yeah, if they continue, then personally, I believe that the ZAR is going to continue weakening and weakening against the major currencies like the US dollars, meaning that those of you that might still take your money into the US, chances are you are going to obviously see your money growing. Or those of you that might convert your ZAR into US, you are definitely going to see your money growing. I mean, if you had put, obviously, let's say 100,000, or if you have 100,000 in the US, or if you had bought dollars worth 100,000, maybe when ZAR was around 15 rand, let's say for argument's sake ZAR is to get to 20 rand against the dollar. It means that by just that small movement of you moving your money into the US, or buy companies in the US, it simply means that obviously you would have grown your money by around 25,000. So your money would grow in value by just 25,000 if you had transferred just a mere 100,000 into the US market, or into, or convert into buying the US dollar. So there are good benefits, or there are so many advantages why obviously it is beneficial for you to not just only focus on investing locally but taking your money abroad, because when the ZAR loses value, your money abroad, like the US dollars, ladies and gents, it grows, it flourishes, it makes you money, though maybe you are not even buying assets but just making it sit right there in your USD account. So I was not sad at all yesterday, and even if the rand is to go to the dollar or is to crash against the dollar and go to 20 rands, I'll still be not sad, because I know that I've got a couple of dollars in my USD account. I've got a couple of dollars in the US right there, which when this is happening, the money right there is just growing like crazy. I mean, over and above the money that I can make from stocks, investing in stocks, I've got more money that I can make by just having my ZAR, of course, sitting in my USD account. So let's say my average is 15 rands, as I've said, and obviously the ZAR crashes to 20 rands against the dollar. Then that, ladies and gents, means that I would have generated 25% just of the fact that my money is in the USD account. This is quite important when you're investing. So yes, I've seen a couple of people maybe a bit hesitant about investing in the US stocks. They're just focusing on obviously local companies, which, yeah, one of the reasons why I like investing to US stocks, rather than maybe the growth, the amount of stocks or the amount of available options in the US stock market, is this. I like this because chances are we are going to see the ZAR crashing to 20 rands. Sooner or later, we are going to see South African rand crashing into 20 rands, and that won't, of course, that will hurt a lot of consumers, especially, like I said, not only consumers but of course also companies that do businesses, because, ladies and gents, that obviously would mean that you would have to pay more for the services maybe that you were buying. Or let's say you want to buy products abroad, you would have to pay that maybe $10 that you were spending, like, I don't know, 1,600. Now you would have to spend 2,000 to buy that very same $100 item that you were buying. So yes, this thing, of course, it does affect not only consumers but it also affects companies. But if you at least have got assets in the US, or have got money in the US, or have got shares in the US, ladies and gents, you won't be hurt by much, because then you have got assets that are also growing in value or seeing value, because your money then will be growing by just that. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought to just give you this quick update as to why are we seeing the ZAR, or why did we see the ZAR crashing. It was because the Financial Action Task Force just greylisted, obviously, South Africa, which makes it difficult, or it will make it a bit difficult for foreign investors to, of course, invest in our country, which that has a huge impact on our GDP, that has a huge impact, of course, in our economy, which is something that obviously it's not good at all. Otherwise, with all that, guys, one thing that you have to know is that obviously, like, a country does not mean that is the end of the road. We can, or South Africa can still address all the things that made them to be greylisted, like corruption and all those kind of things, and we find ourselves being taken out of the countries which are greylisted, which is something that would be good, right? So I just thought I should just give this quick update. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.